Hi, third grade. Today we're going to begin Unit 9 of Fundations. Unit 9 is a 3-week long unit, and we're certainly going to be learning a lot. So let's get started. A wash ah. A squash ah. A Alaska E ed eh. I animal or I champion e. You mule you. You rule oo. Y cry I. Y baby e. Tion vacation shun. Sion mansion shun. Great job. All right, let's listen up to learn our first new concept of Unit 9.
Hi, friends, and welcome to Unit 9. I'm Mrs. Keogh, and I'm a literacy specialist with Wilson Language Training. Today, we are going to work on Unit 9, Week 1, Day 1. And we're going to be talking about R-controlled sounds. So you know the R-controlled syllable type, but now you'll review this syllable type, the R-controlled syllable type, and learn new things about those sounds. So let's take a look at those R-controlled sounds. Let's quickly take a look at these. So take a look at this one. E-R, A-R, O-R, E-R, and an I-R. So what do you notice about each of these sounds? Yeah, it has a vowel and a consonant, and the consonant is the R. So if you remember, a closed syllable is one vowel followed by one or more consonants. So this is a consonant. So these could be closed syllables, but they're not, because when you have this vowel and it is followed by that R is controlling the sound of that vowel. So the vowel is not long, it is not short, it's controlled by the R. So these are all your R-controlled sounds. So let's go through and let's take a look at these. Here we go. And you'll be my echo. A-R, car, R. O-R, horn, or. E-R, her, I-R, bird, U-R, burn, And then we're right back to where we started. All right, so let's go ahead. And I have some words already built up here for you. We're going to read these one at a time, but we're going to tap and read these words. So let me get out of the way here. So let's take a look at this first word. So do you see that? Let's go ahead and tap that word. It's R, car. I think you could see me tapping way over there. Remember, when we tap that R-controlled sound, it's only going to get one tap. So it's going to look like this. R, car. Did you remember that? All right, let's try this next word. Oh, I'm missing a letter. Let's try this next word. Here we go. Now we're all set. Okay, let's tap this word out. Tappers up. Here we go. Or, horn. Did you tap it with one tap? Or, horn. Like a horn. A car has a horn. Your bike might have a horn. A cow or a bull might have a horn with that. But it's still, that or is going to get one tap. Let's read this word. This word's ready for us to read. Here we go. Tappers up. Here we go. Bird. Bird. So we have a bird that flies in the sky. So that was a good reminder of what we do. So now let's talk about how we're going to mark up this syllable type. So let me put a word up here and have a word already on a syllable frame for you. So let's take a look at this word. So what kind of syllable type, or what kind of syllable is this? If you said R controlled, you are right. You got that. So how do we mark up an R controlled syllable? Do you remember that? Whisper it to me. I underline that word. This is an R controlled. So remember, I always identify that syllable type first. So this is an R controlled syllable. And I circle that AR, that R controlled part. So if you remember, you've got this helpful poster in your room that will show you and remind you how to mark up that R controlled syllable. So you can always take a look at that poster if you need some help. All right, let's do another one. Are you ready? Let's look at this one. Did we read that word? Let's read it. Let's tap and read. Here we go. Barn, barn. You might keep horses in a barn, hay in a barn. Maybe you don't have a barn near where you live, depending on where you live. All right, let's take a look at this one. Are you ready? Let's identify the syllable type first. You can look at it. I'm going to underline the word. It is an R-controlled syllable, so I circle A-R. Let's tap and read it now. Art, chart. So your teacher might have a chart with all of your names on it, and she keeps track of if you're there, maybe what you're going to have for lunch or what you're doing. Let's do one more word. Here we go. Here. Let's identify the syllable type first. Underline that word. R controlled. And because it's an R controlled, I'm going to circle that OR. Let's tap it. Porch. Porch. Some people have a porch in their house. You can sit outside and you can be sheltered from the rain or the snow or the sun. I don't have a porch on my house. But if you do, then you do have that. So that's how you would mark up our R-controlled syllable. Now remember, we can also combine R-controlled syllables with other types of syllables. So let's take a look at what that's going to look like. While I'm getting this ready, could you use the word porch in a sentence? Did you use that word in a sentence with somebody near you? Yes, maybe Mrs. Keel likes to sip lemonade on a porch, if only she had one. All right, I'm going to put up a word up here. So our controlled syllables can be combined with other syllable types to make longer words. So watch this. Don't read it yet. My syllable frame's up here. Ready? Let's read this. Remember, we're going to read syllable at a time. Here we go. Army, army. What syllable type is this first syllable type? It's an R, controlled, so I circle that, A-R. What syllable type is the second syllable? It's an open syllable, and what sound is the Y making here? Army. It's making that E. So I'll put that long E, that may run above that E, to show that that Y is saying E. Army. Ready for another one? Let's try another word. Here we go. Another multisyllabic word. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Let's read it. Export, export. Export is something when you send something away, you're going to ship something out. And so what syllable type is this first syllable? One vowel followed by one more consonant. It's a closed syllable. And because it's closed, the vowel is short. I'll mark it with my brev. What syllable type is this? R controlled. How do I mark my R controlled sound? Circle it, just like that. And we have export. Okay, so now let's think about something new. So we're going to talk about syllable division. And so we have talked about syllable division in the past. So let's see what we remember. So I'm going to build a word, and I want you just to look at it. Let's see if I have everything I need for that word. So take a look at that word. Okay, and looking in that, I have two syllables. So usually in a word, if that first syllable is an R controlled, has an R controlled sound in it, That's where we're going to divide the word, is after that R. So looking at this word, here's my R controlled syllable. I'm going to just move this over, and here are my two syllables. So let's go ahead and read this. Party, party. We're going to go to a party for somebody's birthday. They're going to have a party. So that rule is, if there's an R controlled sound here, then we know that that's probably where we're going to split that word if this R controlled is in that first syllable. Do you want to try another one? All right, let's try another one. Let me see. Okay, I do have one ready for us. Take a look at this word. Do you see an R controlled sound? You do. Is it in the first syllable? It is. So I know that I can split my syllable right there. All right, let's read this. Garlic, garlic. I like to eat garlic with my on my food. Some people don't, but I do like that. But remember that rule, that R controlled sound is there in that first syllable. So that's where I'm going to split that word. All right, let's try one more. Oh, this is a good one. Take a look at it. Whisper to somebody next to you where I'm going to split this word. Okay, I think I heard you say, because I've got that R controlled sound here, I'm going to split right there. So let's read this word. Cargo, cargo. So cargo could be the shipment. Remember when I was going to export something? The cargo is the shipment or the items that you might be sending out. That was fantastic. So now what we're going to talk about is what happens when I have a word that is a compound word. Do you remember what we did before when we did that? What was that rule with a compound word? Do you remember it? Whisper it to somebody next to you. Okay, I'm going to build a word. Okay. And here I've got my compound word. So I've got two words that come together that are making one word, but these two words do have their meaning. So when I look at this word, it's going to be, even though this has this R controlled sound here, it is still going to be split with between the words. So I would take the first word, and there's my second word. Let's go ahead and read this word. Shortstop. Shortstop. So if you play baseball, you know what that is. So there you go. There's our quick review of the R controlled sounds and the R controlled syllable. If you have your Hassle book or your student notebook, you can right now go ahead and enter and color the pictures for the R controlled sounds on the correct page. You could do that now, or you could do that later, depending on what your teacher wants you to do. All right, great lesson. Good to see you. I'll see you soon.
The last thing we did today was learn our 2 new uppercase cursive letters. So if you're at home, get a piece of paper and pencil to practice. And if you're at school, take out your dry erase board, marker, and eraser. We will skywrite first, and then we will practice forming those letters on our slates. The first letter is uppercase H. Here we go.
H is a skyline down letter. It starts on the skyline. Point to the skyline. Go on the skyline, then curve down to the grass line. Leave a space and point to the skyline. Go back on the skyline, then down to the grass line. Bounce back to the plane line and cross it on the plane line.
Okay, and the last letter we learned today is uppercase K. Let's see it.
K is a skyline down letter. It starts on the skyline. Point to the skyline. Go on the skyline, then curve down to the grass line. Leave a space and point to the skyline. Slide back and touch your tall line. Slide down to the grass line and make a tail.
All right, third grade, that's all we did today. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.